Okay, so as you can see, I've made a couple of changes to the team I said I was going to make, but I'll touch on them once I've got the review for this week and the preview for next week done. Okay, so as you can see, it was a fairly decent week with 74 points. Not a bad 17,000th, so not a bad start. I went up by 1,000 places because of Hazard's 10 points. You can really see from my team the value of a penalty taker with Hazard, Mahrez, and Aguero all scoring from penalties. Lamella paid off. That was a risk worth taking. Foster, I said he'd be a bargain at 4.5. He started off with a clean sheet and 3 points for, I think he got saves with those four. Yeah, 3 points for saves. The back three was disappointing with, City dominated the whole game. I think they had like 80% possession, something like that. And it was actually Stones that cost the team the goal by running out of defence. United, again, they dominated the game for most of the match, but then just, conceded. And Friend was he was brilliant in the Middlesbrough game. Middlesbrough looked very solid at the back, but again, unfortunately, they conceded from a free kick. Okay, so looking ahead to game week 2, we can see that I can put a fairly decent team out with a Met starting. I do have some, suggestions for transfers that I might make, but as it stands at the moment, I'm definitely sticking with this. I can play a four back. All four of my defenders have good fixtures. Lamella, Crystal Palace, Hazard, Watford, Mahrez playing against a depleted Arsenal. Townsend does have a tough game, but he's playing against his former club, so he might, have a point to prove there. Ibra and Aguero. I know Ibra's at home, and Hazard's at Watford, so maybe one of them would look like the better option. But again, Hazard scored from a penalty, even though he did look good in the match. And Ibra in the Man United game actually wasn't involved much, but obviously he had that one moment of brilliance which Zlatan can always bring, where he scored from far out. And Southampton, not sure if they're going to be a Europa League team or a mid-table team. Could say the same about Stoke, but I just feel like Aguero is just my safest bet in the team, and for the start of the season, I definitely want to play it safe. So as you can see, Long's dropped down to my bench. Tempted to transfer him out for maybe Rondon or Negredo because those two players scored and they both got great fixtures, but I think that would be jumping the gun a bit because I obviously talked at the start of the season how much I was feeling Long. So, I think I'll give him his game against Sunderland next week before I decide to transfer him out. Same with Townsend, because that way I'll have two transfers. So what I can do then is bring in, Negredo, Defoe, Rondon, a striker, and swap Townsend out for Redmond, because Redmond is definitely a player that I am feeling. And also another move that I would want to make, that I could make this week, because it would make my midfield, look a lot better, is Townsend for Deulofeu. Deulofeu is definitely one to keep my eye on. He looked good, against Tottenham. He just didn't look. His finishing wasn't on point, so I'm thinking, before transferring in Deulofeu, because once Townsend's got this Tottenham game out of the way, he's got a great run of fixtures. So I think before I jump the gun on Deulofeu, I think again I'm just going to hang back and wait, because especially with him playing against West Brom, they've got some, strong centre backs. He's a little boy; he could get, bullied up there. Well, not a little boy, that's rude, but he's quite small. So just gonna hang back on all them transfers. Again, Leicester did look quite poor, so maybe swapping out Mahrez could look good, but a lot of the 9.5 millions like Payet still not really match fit. Ozil still not really match fit. Um, I thought Martial didn't really look up for the game either. I know he got 2 assists, but obviously one was for Ibra's, I guess you could call it a wonder goal. It wasn't really much of an assist. He just passed the ball to him and he, scored from miles off. And his other assist was a, kind of just a miss hit of a shot. He did come into the game a lot more in the second half. So, I think I'm going to sit back. I think bringing in a Liverpool player as well, that's a big thing that a lot of people are doing, going for, Coutinho's and Mane's in midfield. I think that's a very short-sighted thing to do, especially when we look at the fixtures. Like I'll just show you now Liverpool's fixtures. They got a good game this week at Burnley, but then week, Tottenham, then I believe it's Leicester, then I believe it's, Chelsea. So, I do think that bringing in a Liverpool player now is very short-sighted. So I do think for now, this is what I'm going to do. I think with me playing Friend, I could get a player from the same team in Negredo and play him up top. That's a good move if you guys aren't comfortable playing a four back. because, as we saw, defenders can play brilliantly, but, someone else on the team could make a mistake and they've lost their clean sheet bonus now. Okay, so I did make two changes from a team. I originally had Taylor and McCauley in, but I decided that, Taylor actually didn't start. That had nothing to do with the reason I didn't play him. I didn't know he was set not to start, so it's a good job I did make this change. But I swapped him out for a Matt because a Matt was set to start. So I thought, like Taylor doesn't really score and assist much anyway, so he'll just be getting clean sheet bonus points. So if a Matt's in the team, he'll be getting a similar amount of points to him anyway. So I thought if I save 5 million there, I can afford to get in Stones, who just transferred to City, and I thought at 5 million he was now looking like a really good value for money. Okay, just want to quickly put this on the end because I don't want the video to be too long. But the guy who's stealing my content, his channel has now been shut down. Thank you everyone who help me with that. If you did help, thank you. Please leave a like on this video if you made it this far. It really does help me grow. And I've just made the thing bigger so you can see where I've come, in all my global leagues and everything. So I know, how people care about all that. And if I'm in your league, you can see where I am in that as well. If you want me to join your league, please leave that in the description. I'll join them all.